My grandma's birthday is coming up in a few days. Last year I decided that I would stop buying gifts for people and that I would make as many gifts as possible myself. Last Christmas, that's what I did. I made all my gifts, and that's what I plan to do this year as well. I really need to start making them, but at the same time, it's both my grandma's birthdays, like at the end of November and beginning of December, so I have to do that first. Last year I made my grandma a scarf. I don't think she wears it that much because she's mostly inside. That's why I decided that this year I would make her something that she can actually use every single day. I'm making her the Technicolor purse by Petiteknit. I've never done this pattern before. I've been wanting to for a very long time. That's the one that I'm making. I'm making the size medium. I don't know, it's supposed to be like 18 centimeters wide. And that's what the stitch looks like. I just love this. I just love the way that the colors change. I think it looks gorgeous. I'm not making any changes, I'm just following the pattern. I usually do make a lot of changes, but I'm not doing that. I wanted to make one for myself because I wanted to make a wash bag. I travel a lot, but I don't really have any wash bags. Like, I used to have one and I thought it looked absolutely disgusting, so I just threw it away. I thought that by just throwing it away I would start making a wash bag for myself, but I never did. I actually traveled last weekend. I had like a plastic wash bag, like a plastic bag as a wash bag. These are the colors that I picked. I think they look so good together, and I don't know, I just love this. This is Sunday by Sandnes Garn, by the way. This is what the pattern calls for. That's what I have so far. I've been working on it a little bit last night because I was practicing the cast on, and also a little bit this morning. And I'm keeping track of my colors here because you have to change, like every row is different, so I'm just keeping track of everything. Hopefully today I can finish the knit part of the pouch, and then tomorrow I can find the zipper and the lining, add everything, wrap it up, done. Probably been working on this for like 7 hours now. Not today, but like overall. Since I started, I think it's been probably 7 hours. The slip stitch pattern is very easy to follow because it's only like you just knit and you slip stitches. So that's pretty easy to do. But it also takes a long time because you're only working half the stitches every round. 2 rounds equals 1 round. I don't know if that makes sense. I love the way the fabric looks. Like, it feels very thick and sturdy, and also those colors are just gorgeous together. We're going for a walk, so I'm gonna keep working on it tonight, and I think I can finish it tonight. At least the knit part, so that's great. So yesterday I finished my pouch, and I also went to the fabric store because I didn't have any lining, any zipper. I'm just weaving in my ends, I still have a few to weave in. I didn't gauge for this pouch, just ended up being way smaller than it was supposed to be. So it's about 16 centimeters wide. In the pattern, she says that you're supposed to cast off pretty tightly, but I think because I usually cast off in a very tight way, I ended up casting off a bit too tightly, so that's why you have this kind of shape, and it's a bit tinier here than here. Okay, I'm done with my ends, and I can start sewing the zipper, which I'm really scared about, by the way. I couldn't find a fancy zipper like the one she uses, so I just went with the one that looked the best to me, the one that matched my yarn the best, even though it's not perfect. I didn't have time to order any zipper online, so I just had to pick one that worked. I went with the 15 centimeter zipper, and the guy at the store said that it was going to be fine, so I decided to trust him because the other size that they had was 18 and that was going to be way too big, so I think this one is going to work perfectly. We'll see. Doesn't really make sense to me to attach the zipper and then add the lining. I don't know a lot about sewing, but I would, in my head, what would make sense is attach the lining to the zipper and then attach the zipper to the pouch. I said that I would follow the pattern exactly, and she says to sew the zipper first, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, yes. I'm someone who really loves to learn new things, but it's also extremely uncomfortable at times. Like right now, it feels extremely uncomfortable because I don't know what I'm doing. Like I have no idea. I just pinned like a crazy person, and it's not completely perfect, but like it works. So I think that's good enough for now. Just the fact that it works. So I'm gonna sew this like that and hope for the best. I remember when I started crocheting, the first afternoon that I started crocheting, I was trying to make granny squares and I cried so much because I was getting so frustrated, and now it feels like second nature. I also feel like the more you learn new things, the more you start to feel like you can learn absolutely anything. That's the best superpower anyone can have, in my opinion. I know that I'm gonna love end sewing so much, so that's a way for me to start learning. I don't want to sew with a machine, I want to sew by hand. I want to be able to bring my projects anywhere I want to. So that's the new thing that I want to get into. It worked. It worked. It actually worked out way better than I thought it would because I can open it, close it, and this is straight, kinda. It still has a bit of a weird shape because I cast it off too tightly, so it goes a bit like this. Is it perfect? No. Do I care? Also no. Yeah, okay, I need to do the lining now. In the beginning I thought that I would use this one because I thought it looked good, but it's also a bit too thin, I think. I want my pouch to get a tiny bit of structure because now it's extremely soft. So I think I'm gonna go with this one. I want to make a tag with my grandma's name on it and put that inside. I think it's gonna add something very cute to this gift. I'm just doing a very simple backstitch. That's the one that I learned this morning. I watched a bunch of videos. I figured out the whole thread and needle thing. I just realized that my grandma, she actually can't really see that well anymore, so That's not like a good thing, but for me right now, that's a pretty great thing because she's not gonna be able to see all the tiny imperfections that I see. I love it. I really love this. Now I have this one and I want to put it on this as kind of a back fabric. I'm gonna try to do it straight this time. Let's do this, I don't know. I'm using pink embroidery thread for this one. I've decided to use quite a small needle, so I'm just picking like 3 threads of yarn, like 3. I'm not using the whole thing, I'm separating this if I can. Yes. And now, please be easy. That's probably the most annoying thing ever. Embroidery was easy to learn, but just putting your thread on the needle is like the worst. Oh my god. Oh. Oh no. This is not the best. Like, this is not straight on this fabric. You can see the stripes. Like here, it's not straight. My stitches, they're not very straight either. You can see a little bit of my black thread underneath the white cotton, so that's not great. I would say that overall it looks pretty good. Like if you look at it this way, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to cut a little piece of this fabric and put it on my lining here. She's gonna say, oh yeah, my granddaughter made it, and people are gonna think that I'm like 5 years old. Next and last thing to do is putting this into this.